Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Ahmad Haziq Muizzuddin bin Mustafuddin from Fyp Uitm and I will present about my FYP project, which is the water quality monitoring for freshwater catfish using the IoT. And the detail I will present in the next slide. The introduction of this project, I choose the IoT as the medium for my research about the agriculture problem, which is the water. IoT is chosen because it enables to connection between the different devices to obtain and collect the data, and IoT is also easy to access the data. The parameter that I choose for this project, which is the pH sensor, water flow sensor, and also the temperature sensor, and the ESP32 is used as the bridge to connect between the sensors and also the smart apps. The smart apps that I use is Blink apps as the medium to collect and monitor the data from the distance. And this project, I able to monitor the water quality of the freshwater catfish in the distance by using this system. The problem statement of this project: first, the fish farmer is use conventional methods to monitor their water quality. Second, the fish farmer is not implement the technology to track their water quality. And third, the fish farmer need to face and always have be burned about the continuously monitor the water to ensure their fish survive in the river and ensure the quality of the water is not affected to the fish. And the objective of this project to study the water quality monitoring for the freshwater catfish. The second, to analyze the criteria of the water quality that useful for the fish by monitoring their water quality in the river. And the third, to design the system for analyze the water quality parameters in the river in real life. Next, the scope of this project: first, aim to investigate the water quality parameter that useful for the monitor the water quality. And second, aim to investigate the criteria of the water quality that give benefit to monitor the fish water river. And the third, to aim establish the model the actual for monitor the fresh water in the aquatic ecosystem in the river. And the limited of this project is the limited resources. And the second is unable to do the test during the pandemic because of the MCO in Malaysia. And the third is unable to get the data because the MCO that cannot be able to test in the site. Now, the water quality monitoring system. In this system has 3 stage, which is the lower, medium, and also the upper. And lower, which is the stage, has the using of the parameter sensors to collect the data. And the medium, which is the stage of the bridge to connect between the lower and the upper stage. And the upper stage is the medium for to show the data and analyze the data by using the apps. And the lower, I choose the parameter which is the pH sensor, water temperature sensor, and also the water flow sensor. The pH sensor is useful because to able get the data by having the pH value of the river. The temperature is able to know the temperature of the river that suitable to the catfish. And the water flow is to know the flow rate of the water flow in the river to know how the water is flow in the river for good in the catfish. And the bridge, I use the ESP32 because ESP32 is easy to connect and having a Wi-Fi Bluetooth to connect from the distance. And the upper, I use the Blink apps as the medium to monitor and to analyze the the data of the parameter. Now for the methodology, I use the DMAIC method as the reference and the rule about to help my research. And this method is followed by the define, measure, analyze, improve, and also the control. So by the define, I able to identify the problem of the project and identify the schedule plan for this project system. And for the measure, I able to evaluate and reduce the parameter since during the MCO. And I in the also the measure, I evaluate the suitable place to testing the system. For the analyze, I run the system using the cloud, using the Blink, and get the feedback from the supervisor. And for the improvement, after get the improvement by the supervisor, I improve the system to having the better system to get the data. And I improve the plan based on the comment from the supervisor also. And for the control, the performance at the time and power supply to sensor get the data need to be online and ensure have the enough suitable time to having the online session in by the system. Since the MCO is having in the Malaysian, it's difficult to me to having the testing in the river that I unable to get the data. And so by as you can see the result is be testing in the river near the Pekan Pahang, which is Kampung Temai, and unable to get the data of the river in the short period of the period in the testing. And as you can see the graph of the graph, you can see the two indicator, which is the blue and the green, and the yellow one, which is indicator for the temperature and also the water flow. The blue one is show for the temperature value, and the water flow for the yellow one. And as you can see the blue one, the graph is show the decreasing for when it come to the evening. So by referring that data, we can see that the dropping of the temperatures occur because of the temperature in the water and is higher than the surface is higher than the in the water. So the environment condition is the optimum water temperature for the growth of the fish is about the 24 until the 30 degrees Celsius. But some fish cannot be survive in the temperature about the freezing point, which is around the 38 degrees Celsius. And you can see the water flow in the graph, which is the yellow one. The water flow is flow around the 80 to 20 liter per second by in the river in Sungai Pahang. And by I referring by in the Wikipedia, the optimal flow rate in the river that's suitable for the fish, which is a 30 liter for 30 liter per second, 30 liter per second in aquaculture animal. So because of the 18 and 20 liter per second around the water flow is flow, so is suitable for the catfish. And the flow rate required to ensure the water quality is might also to shift throughout the year. So next you can see the next graph, which is the single graph, which is the for the pH. You can see that in the pH for the around in 1 hour period, I have testing in the river in the minutes of the around the 5 minutes to 10 minutes some of the data have been increasingly dramatically, which is the pH value increase. So the farmer, it is because why the pH is increased, because the pH value is increased because of the farmer has breed their, has give feeding their fish in the river, in their cage, in the cage of the fish. So that's why the pH value has been increased in the water. So the catfish need to pH value around the 4.5 until 8 to survive in the river. And as you can see the pictures, the pH value is suitable for the different type of the fish, and the catfish is around the category for the bass, anglerfish, and PKE and trout fish categories. So 4.5 until the 8 is good for the fish, the catfish to survive. As the conclusion, for this research is a good idea for creating the tracking system that could track the level of the water temperature of the river, and also the platform of the river of the water to analyze, and also to able to know the critical for the fish to survive in the river. And it also important for know the level of the water flow and also the pH value in the river that good for know suitable for the fish. And the purpose of the overall of this study to intend the generate a cloud system based water monitoring system that compute with the ESP32 and also the Blink apps. The design that implement that in this system clearly state that choosing the good suitable equipment can help the farmer to monitor their water quality that good for their fish, and it can monitor more faster, and also in having the good reasonable cost to get this system. And it's important to them to be more cautious about the and alert about the environment, such as the flood, to avoid huge losses. And besides from the water temperature, flow rate, and also the pH, other variable can be added, such as the oxygen level, ammonia, nitrate, humid, chloride, and also the acidity, that maybe can help the fisher to know more detail about their water quality that good for their their fish. And water quality monitoring is a good system for the fish farmer to having a good production in their farm, and that can then, and it can be upgrade by adding the variable in the monitoring system. The recommendation of this project recommend that this system need some of variable to get better analysis and more detail about the water quality and good for the fish. Second, recommend that the fish farmer able to use this system more than when they use in conventional method, and it also have more advantage than using the conventional method, which is it is more faster to get the data about the water quality, and also this system is more reasonable cost to have to get this, to create this system, and it can help the fish to survive in any state of the water quality. That's all for my presenting about my FYP project, which is the water quality monitoring for freshwater catfish using the IoT. And thank you for the recommended and also the comment. And I, Ahmad Haziq Muizzuddin bin Mustafuddin, thank you for the listening and also my research, and thank you.